Manga-Waido.
My name is Keita Onishi. My right leg is actually prosthetic. When I was in junior high school, I had an accident on the way back home from a family vacation and lost my leg from the knee down. At first, of course, I was shocked, but now I don't feel any inconvenience. I can walk freely with my prosthetic leg. What I still can't get used to is the fact that my parents are gone. My parents died instantly when a drunk driver's truck plowed into us. My sister and I were in the back seat, and when we woke up, they were already gone. All of my relatives were kind enough to lend a helping hand to us orphans. My sister was able to go to college on an interest-free scholarship thanks to her good studies. I'm proud of her. But for some reason, she suddenly quit college the summer after her junior year. I heard later that it was because of relationship troubles. I had just started college then on an interest-free scholarship.
I'm going to work. You don't have to worry about the family finances. You don't even have to work part-time.
But I can't put that burden on you, sis.
Don't worry. Uncle introduced me to a good job. Don't worry about me, Kita. Just concentrate on your studies.
My sister started working in an office and seemed to be in good spirits. She smiled more than when she was attending college. I'll have to work hard after graduation to make things easier for my sister. I want to thank my uncles, too. In my senior year, I worked hard to find a job, and I was able to get into a well-known company in my hometown. I'm Yuya Tokuda, and I'll be your instructor starting today. Nice to meet you. I'm Keita Onishi. Nice to meet you. Are you President Tokuda's? Yes, I'm his son, but I'm still just a regular employee. You don't have to be so sensitive. I understand. The president's son is my instructor. That made me nervous. To avoid embarrassment, I tried my best to remember what I was told and reviewed my duties when I got home.
Onishi, you can already take care of that job?
Yeah, they let me do it by myself since last week.
That's great! I'm still only allowed to do simple processes.
This person is my colleague, Risa Komori. She was so pretty that I was nervous at first, but she was so friendly that I managed to get along with her. I was able to work with other coworkers without any major problems. Everyone knew I had a prosthetic leg, so they took over for me when I needed to carry heavy things or go up and down the stairs. I was really happy to work here, but it wasn't just the good things. Onishi, let's go have a drink. Sorry, my sister's cooking dinner today. Who cares about that? I'll take you to a cabaret with pretty girls. Tokuda apparently liked women quite a bit. He often invited me to cabarets and girls' bars. I once went because I couldn't refuse, but I'm not good at those places. Another coworker came forward that day and said, "I'll go!" So I was able to get out of the situation. The next week, Tokuda's womanizing took a turn for the worse. Komori is a beautiful woman. It would be fun to fool around with a woman like that. He started going for Komori. A different coworker said, "There's several employees who quit because they were played by Tokuda." And when I heard that, I have to make sure Komori doesn't get targeted. I thought I had to change the subject somehow, and the first thing that came out of my mouth was about my sister. Yes, my sister is beautiful too, but Komori is a different type of beautiful. You have an older sister? How beautiful is she? Show me a picture. That's embarrassing. Just show me! Well, okay. This is my sister. Huh? She's a dull-looking woman. What's so beautiful about her? I guess I'm just showing favoritism. I was annoyed for a moment when he made fun of my sister, but I succeeded in diverting his attention away from Komori. I was relieved, but...
Onishi, thanks for earlier. With your follow-up, I didn't cause any trouble for the customer.
No. I just noticed because I was about to make the same mistake myself.
I like that humble attitude of yours, Onishi.
What?
Want to go for a drink today? It'll be on me as a thanks.
Unexpectedly, Komori invited me to have a drink with her, and since I had no reason to refuse, we went. That was great and all, but our coworker saw us, and apparently, that coworker told Tokuda about it. I heard you and Komori are getting along well. Tanaka said so. No, it's not like that. I'm going for Komori. I won't forgive you if you get in the way. After that, Tokuda blatantly changed his attitude. It ruins the atmosphere when people with disabilities are around. Stop walking so slow. He blatantly started to say things like that. Why did this happen? Fortunately, The other coworkers and supervisors valued me, so I was able to work without being discouraged. But something decisive happened that put Tokuda in a bad mood. One day in the break room at work,
I've always liked you, Onishi. Please, go out with me.
Komori confessed her feelings for me. As if I was already in heaven. I'd love to! I replied in an instant. I was so happy that I honestly don't remember what happened after that. But as the saying goes, happiness and misfortune are like a rope. Come here. I still have some work. Just come! That's a senior order! At the end of the day, Tokuda called me into the hallway. I heard you're going out with Komori. What? How does he know? I thought it was just the two of us. Anyway, it seemed there's no point in trying to cover it up. Yes, that's right. You know I had my eye on Komori, right? Why did you take her? Take her? Komori chose me. Who do you think you are, cripple? Apologize! Hey! Get down on your knees! Please, stop! Ah! My head was held down, which made me stumble, and I fell down the stairs! I had severe pain in my arm and head. A coworker heard the commotion and called an ambulance right away, but they told me my arm was broken and I would have to wait a month for a full recovery. I can't tolerate this kind of treatment. When I returned to work with a cast on, I immediately told Tokuda that I was going to sue him for injury. Tokuda just said, and didn't take it seriously. After that, I was summoned to the president's office. I heard your story. I'm sorry about my son. I also got the medical certificate. Tanaka said he would testify because he saw it happen. I will report the damage this way. About that, well, can you forgive us with this? What? Money? There's 1,000,000 yen in there. Settle out of court with this. You're poor, aren't you? Look how lucky you are getting 1,000,000 yen. I understand. Okay, let's settle. Let's see. If you pay me 100 times this amount, I'll comply. What? 100 million? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You didn't come to visit me, and you didn't even want to give me the settlement money until I told you! I said earlier that I was going to report the damage, but in fact, I already did! I will never withdraw the report, so please, be prepared! I gave him the name of the police station that received the report as evidence and the receipt number. You're a cripple! Have you forgotten how much you owe me for hiring you? I knew it. The son of a frog is a frog. You both have the same way of thinking, don't you? What? Are you trying to mock us? I'm just stating the facts. You! Apologize for sticking up to me! The president's face turned red, and he held my head down and tried to make me get down on my knees. Please stop! Somebody! I screamed as hard as I could. Co-workers who were probably listening on the other side of the door jumped in. President, what are you doing?
Onishi, are you okay?
Get out of here! He's a cripple, and he's talking to me like... Oh no. The president stopped dead in his tracks. I followed his line of sight, and there he was, the general manager of a major client. President Tokuda? What is going on? Speaking of whom, it was written on the whiteboard that he was scheduled to visit. And so, the ugliness of the president and Tokuda became known both inside and outside the company. I didn't accept the settlement until the very end, and I didn't withdraw the damage report. The police investigated in earnest because the injuries were more than a month's worth, and there were witnesses for both incidents at the stairs and in the president's office. Tokuda and the president had been telling me every day to settle the case, but I ignored it all. When I told them I was leaving the company because I had no regrets, they said, I want you to withdraw the damage report now! I don't want my son to get a criminal record. Besides, the rumors are spreading and I'm losing contracts day by day. That's none of my business. I said I'll give you money! You think you can round people up with money, which is why you're losing your footing. You haven't grown at all since the old days. Huh? The old days? No, I'm talking to myself. Don't mind me. I'll see you at the courthouse. Thank you for everything. Goodbye. In the end, they were both fined. My sister works at a law firm, and a good lawyer defended me at a reasonable cost. which really helped. Later,
After you quit, everyone quit in droves. I think the main reason for the bankruptcy was the fact that they couldn't find jobs on top of their performance slipping.
I see. I feel like I caused trouble for others.
That's not true. It seems everyone was able to find a new job with a business partner or a competitor like me.
And I'm glad. You know, there's something I had to tell you, Komori. Komori and I were still dating, but it's been a while since we've been able to spend time with each other because of the court case and my resignation. I could have kept quiet about it, but I felt bad for her if I kept the secret, so I opened my heavy mouth. I was so happy when Tokuda pushed me down the stairs.
What? What do you mean?
I thought I could finally get revenge.
Revenge?
I told you I have an older sister, right? My sister actually dropped out of college because of Tokuda. In fact, I joined that company knowing he was there. I heard that my sister, who was good-looking and got excellent grades, became the center of attention at the university. That got Tokuda's attention, and he was insistent that she go out with him. But when she rejected him, saying that she wanted to study hard and earnestly, Tokuda felt resentful and instructed his female cronies to snub her. My sister was cornered and ultimately chose to drop out. About a year after she dropped out, she told me about it, and she showed me a picture of Tokuda's face. I immediately tracked down Tokuda's company and asked him to apologize to my sister. But the president of the company said, "I'll give you some money, so go home already."
That father and son has always been like that, huh?
He told me to stop making a fuss without any proof, and I had no choice but to leave then. After that, when I happened to find a job offer at Tokuda's company during my job hunting, I thought it was fate. I was desperate and made it to the final interview, and when I was hired, I was really happy because I could get close and take revenge. That guy, he didn't remember at all when I showed him a picture of my sister. If he saw the picture and apologized, I wouldn't have done something as stupid as getting revenge.
I see.
But when it came time to take revenge, I didn't know what to do. That's why I was so happy that he made the first move.
I know how you feel, but please don't get yourself hurt again, okay? I don't want you to get hurt.
I got a record on them, so I'm over it.
What about your sister? Does she know about the revenge?
I didn't say on purpose, but she was surprised when she heard the name of the suitor, so I'm sure she's aware of it. Komori? Are you taken aback? If you don't like me, you can reject me. When I said what I wanted to ask the most, Komori-san laughed.
There's no way I'd reject you.
She said,
I was angry too when Tokuda sexually harassed me, so I don't disagree with what you did.
I'm glad. Wait, he was sexually harassing you? I'm sorry, I didn't even notice.
No, it's okay, it wasn't a big deal. Sometimes I stepped on him with my heel.
You're strong, Komori. I'm impressed. I found a job after that, and I'm working very hard. My sister seems to have found a wonderful partner at work, and she's smiling a lot more than before. I hope I can live happily ever after. Hope I never have to meet someone like Tokuda again.
My name is Shuji Akiyama. I've been in this job for 5 years now. I've been going around the site with my seniors, but from tomorrow's site, I'll be in charge by myself. Today was Sunday, but I had to work until night to prepare for tomorrow.
Oh, Shuji! Thanks for all your hard work.
Ah, senior! Thank you!
Yeah. Hey, Shuji, are you working on your day off?
Yes, you too?
I'm finally done. I'm gonna do the rest of my work quickly, and then I'm gonna take this on with Kaji-chan. You wanna come too?
No, it's gonna take a little more time. I'll go to the supermarket and get a late-night snack.
That's right. Shuji, be careful when you're driving, alright?
Please, senior. I'm not a kid who just got his license.
Remember what I told you about when we drank the day before yesterday? You know,
Oh, you mean the stage crasher? I was told when we drank the other night that an acquaintance of mine got hit by a staged crasher last month.
Be careful! They go after quiet, serious, weak-looking guys like you!
Hey, senior! I'm being careful, so you don't have to say that much.
Ha 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 ha!
He's right. I'm considered a serious and quiet person because of my appearance. Maybe that's why I often get looked down on even though I'm an adult.
Well, if anything happens, call me right away.
Yes, I'm off! From my senior's point of view, maybe I'm still just a little kid. Then I arrived at my usual supermarket and bought my food and drinks. Just when I was about to hurry home...
Ouch! Watch where you're walking!
I'm sorry! I wasn't paying attention and bumped into another customer. He was a scary-looking man.
Damn, be careful!
He left quickly after saying that. Whew, good thing he didn't do anything. I patted my chest in relief and continued shopping. After shopping, I got into my car to go back to the office. I checked both sides of the road and stepped on the accelerator pedal. At that moment, whoa! Suddenly, a car came out of the blind spot. I stepped on the brake, but there seemed to be no doubt that we had made contact. I backed up a little bit and I got out of my car quickly to check it out. My car was damaged a little bit. A bit of paint peeled off and it was lightly dented, but I think that's a foreign car. Maybe a luxury car?
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, the guy from earlier. The man who got out of the other car was the man I bumped into in the store. I never thought I would bump into the same person twice.
You did it! The paint's completely peeled! It's gonna cost a lot to fix it. I mean, my neck hurts too. I might have cracked it.
The man looked at the damage to his car and started mumbling so that I couldn't hear him. The paint on the man's car was indeed peeling and adhering to my car, but it was peeling in an unnatural way.
What are you gonna do with this? This is a luxury foreign car I'm borrowing from my senior, and there are only a few of them in the world.
I see. Well, let's call the police first.
No. Even if you call the police, they'll only prove that it was your fault. Oh well. Let's see your driver's license.
What? How come?
I mean, you were driving like that, I bet you don't even have a license. Come on, let's see it.
You were the one who drove dangerously, weren't you?
Huh?
You had to drive very slowly in the parking lot. Slowing down at that speed is... And there is a stop sign on the side where the man came from. If he had stopped there, this accident wouldn't have happened. Wait. Is this guy... The somewhat familiar response to the accident and the fresh paint job. And to top it all off, the way he prevents the police and demands for my driver's license? I never thought I'd run into the stage crasher my senior told me about so soon. He probably thought I was a sucker when he bumped into me in the store earlier. If I had handed him my driver's license, I'm sure he would have taken it away and threatened me with it.
Kid, are you sure about this?
What?
I told you I was borrowing this car you hit from my senior, didn't I?
Yes.
He's a Yakuza. They're a tight-knit gang around here called the Samajima clan. You've heard of them, right?
The Samijima clan?
You know what I mean, don't ya? If you show me some sincerity here, I will tell my seniors about you.
By sincerity, you mean...
Money! I'm talking money! Do I need to tell you everything?
This is the deal. It would be easy to call the police, but I came up with another idea.
Hey!
Yes?
Are you listening? Hurry up and give me the money!
I don't have any money!
Kid, you're undermining me, ain't you? You think you can get away like that? All right, fine! Give me your address right now!
What? There are no ATMs around here. And even if there were, you can't withdraw money at this hour. With that said, I knew this would happen.
I'll pick you up tomorrow with my people. You wait and get it ready. If you're not ready, you know what happens, right?
How about the day after tomorrow?
Huh? Are you kidding me? I can't wait that long. Tomorrow, you hear me?
Yes! I went back to my car, wrote down the address on a piece of paper, and handed it to the man. Please, just not to my family.
Then don't run and hide. Wait for me at home.
Yes! After saying that, the man left at a high speed. I inspected my car and found nothing wrong, so I went straight to the office. When I got to the office...
Hey! Shuji! What's wrong with this scratch?
Well, actually... And I gave a brief explanation of what had just happened. However,
Hey! I told you to be careful! You didn't give him money, did you?
Senior, please calm down. The story starts here. I managed to explain everything to him as I calmed him down.
I see. You're gonna do that again.
So you and Kaji-san are going out for a drink tonight, right? Can you please talk to Kaji-san about it?
Yeah, I'll take care of it. I'll talk to my supervisors as well.
Thank you very much. And so I hastily made arrangements to begin preparations for tomorrow. It's happened before. I'm sure it'll go well this time too. The next day I was waiting for that guy at the address I wrote down. And then around noon, the sound of that car I heard yesterday approached and stopped in front of the house.
Hey, come out, I'm here!
He's here. Okay, it's time.
Get on with it, kid. It's too late to run away now.
Yes, I'll open it now. Please, wait a second.
Hey, you. Wait, what? What is this?
Please, come in. We were waiting for you.
Wait, what?
Akira-san, this is not what you told us.
I'm sorry!
I just remembered I have plans. Excuse me!
Hey, you guys, wait!
Well, Akira-san, let's talk about what we promised. Please, come in.
No,
Are you gonna make the boss wait?
What?
I politely led the man named Akira, who was completely shriveled up, to the back of the room. Akira is so cowering that it's almost embarrassing to watch. This way, please. Please, come in.
I'm going home, actually.
What are you talking about? You think you can go home after coming all this way? Here, come on in.
Who is he?
Oh, please. He's the boss of the Samejima clan, of course.
Well, I don't know.
What? You said you had a senior member in the Samejima clan, didn't you? I asked them if they could help me with this. I was working here this morning. Well, about yesterday. I contacted the insurance company just in case. But the damages are small, so I don't intend to make a big deal out of the accident. So I'm gonna talk to the police about the threat you imposed the other day.
What?
Is there a problem?
No, I mean, well, I apologize. I didn't know you were a Yakuza, so please.
What? I'm not a Yakuza.
What?
He's our gardener.
Gardener?
Yeah. His father's company has been good to us for a long time. I've known him for several years.
I've been working in this garden with my seniors for a long time, but I will be in charge alone from today. I asked my senior yesterday to ask Kaji-san, who is the future boss, to set this up for me.
Oh, I see. Well, if you excuse me.
What? What are you gonna do about yesterday?
Well, what? Oh, it was completely my fault. Yes, I'm sorry.
Huh, I see.
Well, if you will excuse me now.
Wait a second. I need to talk to you now.
What?
I heard you're doing some kind of crashing fraud in our territory.
That's...
And apparently you're using our name without permission. I hear you're borrowing a car from someone in our clan. Who is it?
Yes!
I don't understand. Who did you borrow from?
I think it was, Tanaka?
Huh. We don't have anyone by that name!
Ah, I'm sorry!
Hey, you guys! Yes? Take him and his pathetic car.
What? No! Please forgive me!
You know what? I'll teach you something. If all you had to say was, I'm sorry, there'd be no need for the Yakuza. And so the man was taken out of the room. I've known the boss for a reasonably long time, but this is the first time I've seen him really lose his temper. I was chilled to the bone.
Oh dear. You've helped us out again.
Not at all. I'm the one who's always being helped.
But this is the second one, right? You're doing a great job.
That's right. I was involved with a guy who claimed to be a member of the Samejima clan before as well. I was able to resolve that with the help of my seniors and the boss of the clan just like this time. The boss had heard about this guy before, and he was just about to do something about it.
Well, now that the noisy one is gone, You can start working on the garden.
Yes, sir!
Do it well. I don't want any mistakes. Well, I trust your skills.
It doesn't sound so funny after all that. Thus, I was able to get to work without incident. Because the garden of the clan is quite large, the work takes several days. I had to concentrate on my work so as not to damage the historic site.
Hey, how about a cup of tea for break?
Boss, thank you very much. Even though they're Yakuza, they share the same love for nature. Like this, I look forward to spending time gazing the garden with the boss during my breaks. By the way, what happened to that man afterwards?
Oh, I turned it into scraps.
You're talking about the car, right?
That's right. You. Are you in any trouble lately?
No, thanks to you, everything's fine.
I see. I heard there's another hoodlum in the next town over who's been eyeing up the civilians.
You want me to bring him back?
I'm kidding. With your great work, you're saving us a lot of trouble after all.
People undereye me often.
Why don't you join us then?
No! What are you talking about? I'm gonna keep being an average gardener. For now.
My name is Hiroki Takahashi. This woman is Ayana Umehara, who I've been dating since high school. She has a cute smile and I'm proud of her. But today she looks really grim. I asked her what's wrong, and to my surprise...
Is it true that you were hired by Manwa Hotel?
Yeah, I'm finally a member of society.
No way. A bellhop at a shabby hotel?
Ayana?
Let's break up. I can't go out with you anymore, Hiroki.
What? I lost my father when I was in elementary school. I wanted to make things easier for my mother, who raised me with her own hands. So I got a job at a tourist hotel after graduating from a service-related vocational school. Ayana always said, "I'm rooting for you, Hiroki." You said, "Let's get married after I get a job and settle down."
I thought you would work at a more famous hotel.
Well, Manwa Hotel isn't so famous, but it has a good reputation.
If it's not famous, it means the pay is bad, right?
No, that's not true. If you get promoted, the salary goes up.
But the starting salary is not enough. I can't be with a poor man with a low education. Don't contact me again.
Hey, Ayana! I never spoke to Ayana again. I tried to contact her, but she blocked me, so I couldn't talk to her at all. What the hell? So in the end, a man is only as good as his money? I was shocked, but time never stops. I joined the Manwa Hotel and started working as a bellhop. It wasn't a luxury hotel, but when I got promoted, the pay wasn't bad at all. I'm going to show her! I was motivated to work hard. Can I help you?
I'm meeting up with my grandson and he won't show up.
That must be a problem for you. Is your grandson driving?
Yes, he said he was taking me sightseeing around here.
Do you have a cell phone?
It ran out of battery.
In that case, we have charging equipment at the front desk. If you have your grandson's number on you, would you like to call him now?
That would be great.
Thank you for your patience. I was able to get in touch with your grandson. He hasn't arrived yet because of the traffic. Please wait here on the sofa. I'll bring you some tea.
Thank you. How kind of you.
Thank you. As I tried to be courteous to our guests, the guy at the front desk was nice. The bellhop was very helpful. People wrote reviews like that. Some guests even sent thank you notes to us. If you work hard, there are people who see. As soon as I felt the satisfaction, I forgot about Ayana and started to be positive. But just when I forgot, disaster struck. 2.5 years after I started working at the hotel, I met Ayana at a local shopping center.
Hiroki, how are you?
Ayana? Yeah, I'm fine.
I got a job at Wide Power.
I was on my way back from visiting my father's grave, and I was with my uncle and his family, so I wanted to get away as quickly as possible. Ayana went out of her way to grab my arm and talk to me.
You probably know this, but our company is a major corporation, so both men and women have good incomes.
That's great. Well, I'm in a hurry, so bye.
Poor guys have no time, huh? My company is full of men, so I get to pick and choose. I'm so glad I'm not dating a poor guy like you.
I shook her off and walked away as fast as I could. Although I was sick and tired of hearing her tasteless voice behind me, I wanted to punch myself back then in the face for dating someone like that for 4 years.
Who was that? That woman. She was very rude.
She was someone I used to date, but I hadn't seen her since she dumped me when I got a job, saying she couldn't handle a bellhop at a no-name hotel.
You say she worked at Wide Power?
Yeah, she went to a 4-year college, so I guess she started working there this year.
I see. I heard Wide Power had a lot of good employees, but I guess there are some people like that too.
Even my uncle was stunned. After that, I worked hard and was promoted from bellhop to bell captain in my 4th year with the company. I was the first person to be promoted to bell captain at such a young age, and everyone congratulated me. That's great, Takahashi! Your hard work paid off! Thanks. I'm just blessed to have good customers.
I heard that you're studying hotel management and sales strategies on your own. I have to work hard too.
I'm just doing what I can for the hotel. I'm really happy to be appreciated by my superiors, though. If you keep up the good work, you might even become a manager. It's a little bit too early to be saying that. I'll keep working hard to make Manwa Hotel a great place to stay. My colleagues threw a party for me in celebration. At first, we were just having a good time and drinking. But then...
I thought I recognized that voice, but it was Hiroki?
What? That ex-girlfriend Ayana showed up again. A handsome, slender, tall man was standing beside her.
Good evening. Are those your colleagues?
Yes.
I heard a lot of toasts. I wonder if it's a celebration.
We're celebrating Takahashi's promotion. When my colleague said that, Ayana's expression changed.
Celebrating a high school graduate bellhop getting a promotion is hilarious.
The colleagues were clearly taken aback by the look on their faces. Stop! If you're here just to interrupt me, get out of here!
Don't worry, I'm going. I don't want the poverty to transfer. Oh, yeah, this is my fiancé, Sato-san. He's the next president of our company.
The handsome man was puffing away with a grin on his face. Nice to meet you. I'm Sato. Ayana-san is a truly wonderful woman. I'm a lucky man to be dating her, blabbering on when I didn't even ask. Huh, I see. I get that you guys make a great couple. So can you leave already?
Yeah, I'm leaving. And by the way, it was a good thing I left a poor man like you, since I got to meet such a wonderful man.
You're a rude woman! It's fine. Well, what Ayana said is true. I laughed to myself, restraining my angry colleagues. Ayana must have been really pleased as she snickered.
Go ahead and drink your cheap alcohol with each other.
And she left. Why don't you say anything back? You don't have the income to be called poor anymore! It's okay. Let her talk. Besides, I know that they're gonna hit rock bottom next month. What do you mean? Their company's gonna be in big trouble soon.
Big trouble?
Well, let's just forget about those guys and start over. Yeah, let's get back to drinking! My colleagues took the lead, and we were back to enjoying ourselves. To be honest, I'm not bothered by Ayana anymore. In fact, now that I know who she really is, I was thankful to her for dumping me. But Ayana was a woman who comes around when you forget about her. The next month, I was surprised when Ayana came running up to me on my way out of the office.
Hiroki, I'm so glad to see you.
What? An ambush? Don't do anything that's in bad taste.
Look, I'm sorry. I want you to start over with me again.
She was dressed in rather revealing clothes as she tried to wrap her arms around me. I can't let my colleagues or customers see me like this. I quickly ignored her and walked away. Ayana was desperately chasing after me. Don't follow me. What's the point now? You're with the next president of the company with a lot of money, right?
He wasn't the next president. He was just an ordinary employee who didn't even know the company was about to be bought out. He lied that he was the next president because he was the president's nephew.
That's right. Ayana's company was to be bought out by another company. Oh, really? Well, not like I care.
Don't say that! Listen, I saw on social media that one of your colleagues called you the next manager. Is that true?
I don't want to say. It's none of your business.
Managers make about 10 million a year, right? Hey, let's start over. I'll apologize if there was something wrong with me.
After some walking with nobody around, I turned around and said, with a super smile, "No thanks. I don't want to look at your face ever again. Go away." By the way, I knew at the drinking party that Ayana's company was going to be bought out. It's tough being bought out, isn't it? You better do your job instead of wasting time here. Otherwise, you might take a pay cut. This new manager's a tough guy, isn't he?
Why do you know that?
Because it's my uncle's company that bought your company.
What?
My uncle is in the nursing care and education business. He said, "I'm going to cut down all but the best employees. Anyway, you better not do your job with a lickety-split attitude, alright? See ya!" The reason my uncle was so familiar with wide power when he met Ayana at the shopping center was because he was planning a takeover. The takeover was an amicable one, and my uncle was going to save the struggling wide power. After the deal was finalized, my uncle quietly told me,
The deal to buy your ex-girlfriend's company was finalized.
he was grinning, so maybe he was telling me out of pity for getting dumped. But I don't know the truth. After that, Ayana wasn't cut off and managed to stay with the company, but when my uncle reviewed her evaluation, he reduced her salary. When I looked at Ayana's social media, I found that she was obsessed with scouting for men in the company and wasn't doing a good job. She got what she deserved. After that, Ayana contacted me saying, "Let's start over," and "I'm sorry I rejected you." I was so annoyed, so I blocked her after some time. I sent a message to my uncle saying that Ayana was sending me messages while I was at work, and it was annoying. And it seems that Ayana was transferred to a branch far away in the next transfer. I have no idea what happened after that. Incidentally, Ayana's former fiancé, Sato, also lost his backing as a member of the former president's family and was sent somewhere else, probably due to poor results in an assessment. I found a false accusatory comment he made on Ayana's social media saying, "It's all because I went out with you!" I'd say they're both in the same boat. I think being a hotelier is my calling, and thanks to the fact that Ayana's assaults have stopped, I can live a more relaxed life. I'll continue to do my best for the customers and the hotel. My mother is relieved to see me working so happily too. I will work hard and give back to my parents.
I'm Masashi Okada, 30 years old. My father graduated from a famous medical university and works as a general practitioner. My mother is a nurse and supports my father devotedly. My sister is also a doctor, and after working at a general hospital, she began helping out at our family hospital. I was the only one who was not good enough. Everyone in my family is smart, but I've always been a bit of a disappointment. Even after 2 years of studying, I couldn't get into the medical school of my choice, so I entered a mediocre university, where I majored in literature.
Masashi, I'm sorry I forced you to study all this time.
I'm sorry we pushed you too hard wanting you to take over.
Yoko says she'll take over. You follow the path that you want to take.
My parents never gave up on me. My sister was also kind to me, saying,
You've done well.
if my talented sister takes over the hospital, I'm sure things will go even better than they are now. This was the best choice. Even though I knew this, it was hard for me to stay home because I felt inferior and unworthy for not living up to my parents' expectations. I left home when I started working and began living alone in an apartment near work. The work was hard, but at home, I was able to relax without worrying about anyone else. I felt a little peace of mind. But those days ended after a few years. The company went bankrupt. I'm 30 years old from a mediocre university. I had no achievements or qualifications. This combined with the recession made it difficult to find a new job, and my savings were dwindling rapidly. But I'm the one who decided to leave home. I can't rely on my parents now. I continued my frantic job search and managed to find a temporary job.
Hey! You haven't finished the documents yet!
Do it quickly! If you're useless, I'll cut your contract.
Yes, sir, I'm sorry. I'll get right on it. I had to work over lunch break and was forced to do odd jobs after clocking out. I was treated poorly, but if they cut my contract, I didn't know what would happen next. I worked hard. Then my mother told me,
Come home because it's your grandma's memorial service.
it's been a long time since I've been home. To be honest, I was relieved. But there was an unfamiliar face there.
Nice to meet you. I'm Kenichi Hirakawa. I'm dating Yoko.
He was my sister's fiancé.
Kenichi will be doing the same. He says he'll work here with Yoko.
I see. Then our house is in good hands. Great. Kenichi was a friendly and nice guy. I could have had 1 or 2 girlfriends too if I had been as charismatic as him. A temporary worker at the bottom of the barrel and a handsome doctor, when we were together, I couldn't help but feel inferior. I decided to leave early.
You're leaving already? You should at least have some dinner.
I have an early day tomorrow. Well then.
Masashi, I'll take you to the station. I've got a car, so...
I refused, but Kenichi said,
It's fine, it's fine.
and pushed me into his luxury car. I thought he was a nice guy, but I was wrong.
Masashi, what do you do for a living?
I work for, Wide Incorporated.
That's a prestigious company. Awesome.
No, I'm a temp. My previous company went bankrupt so recently. Kenichi's expression changed when I told him that.
Huh. A temp. I don't mean to be rude, but you're already in your 30s, right? Aren't you ashamed of being a dispatched worker?
Well, I don't have a choice. It's better to just have a job.
I'm not excited about having a relative who's a bottom feeder with no ambition like you, Masashi. I think the hospital's reputation would suffer if it were known that someone like you was a relative. Can you please not show your face in the family house too much?
What? I was surprised at these words. As I got out of the car, he added,
I'm just kidding.
but he definitely meant that. A man like that marrying my sister? He's going to take over the house? But it's true that I'm at the bottom of the barrel. I guess he's more suitable for my family than someone like me, who's a failure since he has a respectable title as a doctor. He was a nice young man in front of my sister and father, after all. I was torn, but in the end, I decided not to tell anyone about what he told me. Besides, my work was so busy that I didn't have time to think about him. And I was exhausted both physically and mentally from working overtime to the last train every day. I'm so tired. I'll buy some prepared foods and go home. That day, they told me to hurry up and deliver it, so I was on my way home from taking something to a client. My boss told me I could go home directly, so I was walking to the station. Who is that? A woman found slumped on a park bench. Are you alright? You don't look well. Should I call an ambulance?
Shut up! Leave me alone! You're just talking to me with ulterior motives.
It's not like that. It's cold today and it's getting late.
You're a condescending jerk! Don't try to take advantage of me like that! I know that all men are scum!
She seemed to be drunk. She stood up unsteadily and tried to grab me by the chest, but she wobbled and was about to fall down. I supported her as quickly as I could. Where's home? Should I take you?
No, not my home!
I'll take you to the police station then.
No police! No, you can't do that!
She turned pale and started shaking. Something must have happened. The woman must have felt uncomfortable. She turned over and stopped talking. I had no choice but to get a cab to take her to my parents' house. When I arrived 5 minutes later, the hospital out of hours had turned pitch black and silent. I rang the intercom and my sister and father came out.
Don't worry, she's just very drunk.
Wait, but look at this, Dad.
Oh.
Masashi, did she say anything?
She said she doesn't want to go home and she doesn't want to tell the police either. The woman then woke up, and after being surprised to find herself in the hospital, she bowed her head repeatedly. The woman's name was Aya Sano.
I'm sorry to have bothered you. No, more importantly, that bruise. It's nothing.
You stated that you don't want to go home, correct? If you tell us why, we may be able to help you.
Don't worry. My father and sister are both doctors, and they won't hurt you.
Yes, we are on your side.
Aya told the story of how she arrived at the park in tears. She said her husband called her useless on a daily basis, sometimes throwing things at her and pushing her away.
He would yell at me saying, "You cook such lousy meals!" He also threw away my things without my permission and broke them. This is the bruise I got from falling down the stairs when I tried to avoid him as he was about to hurt me.
Aya-san's parents had passed away, and she had no relatives to rely on, so she endured the situation. But she reached her limit, and with the help of alcohol, she ran out of the house. My father then called the police. She was evacuated to a shelter. We were worried about her, but we were strangers and that's all we could do. After that, I continued to work overtime, wondering what had happened to her. One day, 2 months later, I received an email from Aya. Aya-san got her divorce finalized.
Really? That's good to hear.
Thanks for everything. It's thanks to you and Dad that Aya was saved. Tell Dad I said thanks too.
What are you talking about? She was saved because you protected her. Your kindness saved Aya.
A few days later, Aya visited the hospital to express her gratitude. After a conversation with my sister, she ended up working as a clerical worker at the hospital.
I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me.
No, I didn't do anything. More importantly, I'm glad you're feeling better. You look much better than before.
Yes, I'm having a great time every day now.
I wish I could say with all my heart that life was fun like Aya-san. As I was walking home from checking on Aya-san. What's with you? You're here again? I told you before that I don't want to see a bottom feeder's face. Have you forgotten that already? Kenichi, I've been trying to avoid medium. Bad luck. I'm leaving now, if you'll excuse me. Wait a minute. I wanted to ask you something. What would that be? Is that Aya really a domestic violence victim? Isn't she just some cabaret girl you're into who asked you for some work? What? There's no way that's possible! I don't know. Even clerks get paid well here. They say that the people at the bottom use the most underhanded methods that we, the upper class, can't even think of. What did you say? What did I do to deserve this? I was about to lose my temper and my fist clenched tight. If I'd had a few more seconds, I would have punched him, but...
Why would you say such terrible things?
Aya-san! That's my umbrella! Apparently she came to deliver the umbrella I forgot.
Masashi-san is at the bottom? He is a fine person who helped me!
Huh? What's with this woman? He's a bottom feeder. What's wrong with saying the truth?
Please, apologize to Masashi-san!
Her angry voice made my father and sister, who were on lunch break, come out to see what was going on. Oh, this is, Aya-san told him everything that had happened while Kenichi was in a panic.
Is that how you always look down on Masashi?
No, it's just a misunderstanding!
What misunderstanding? Masashi doesn't talk much, and he always goes home quickly when you're around, so I've been wondering. But this must be the reason.
Kenichi, you disappoint me.
Father, it's not like that.
No excuses! I won't let someone who can't take care of his family take over this place. Don't call me father.
People like you will undermine the hospital's credibility. I'm breaking off the engagement. I want you to leave this place too.
No! Kenichi was then kicked out by my furious sisters and disappeared. Apparently, he was just wooing my sister for our assets. He also borrowed money from many people, saying that he would be able to pay back the money as soon as he got married. My sister told me through a friend that he had found a new job at a hospital in a rural area, but was having a very hard time making ends meet. Oh well, he deserves it. I was then hired by another temp agency as a full-time employee, and was freed from my days of overtime work. My father said to me,
I should have paid more attention to you so that you wouldn't feel inferior. I'm sorry. From now on, feel free to visit us at any time.
And I started going to my parents' house frequently. I also got to know Aya-san better, and things were looking good.
I heard from Yoko-san that Masashi-san likes it, so I made it.
What? You made this dish by hand? Wow, it looks like it was made by a pro.
I made a lot, so please take some home if you'd like.
Thank you. I'm so happy.
You can't carry all that by yourself, can you? Aya, I'm sorry, but please, take him home.
Dad?
You can stay over if you want. You can come into work from the afternoon.
Even you, sis? That'll be a nuisance to Aya-san.
I don't mind.
What? It'll be 2 years before Aya and I get married, like my sister wanted. Anyway, I've regained my confidence because of this experience, and I don't want to feel uncomfortable whenever I go back to my parents' house anymore. I'm 30 now, but I'm still 30. This is just the beginning.
My name is Rina Nishikawa. I'm in 4th grade. I just became the class president of my new class. I think I'm doing a pretty good job of organizing everyone, if I do say so myself. Thanks to the kindness and cooperation of everyone in the class meetings and discussions go very smoothly. But there is one problem. I want to get along with everyone, but there's one boy I have a hard time with. Takuya Matsunaga. Compared to the others, he is very quiet and reserved. Today, I tried to talk to Takuya again. However... Hey Takuya, did you do your math homework? It was hard, wasn't it? Especially Q3. I did it. You can look at my notes here. Huh? Oh, thanks. I just can't have a good conversation with Takuya. There was this one time when we were playing dodgeball in the gym. Takuya caught the ball and protected me. Oh, thanks. Takuya, you're pretty athletic. I think I'm pretty normal. I see. Sorry. Takuya may be quiet and unsociable, but that doesn't mean he doesn't fit with the class. He's able to talk to the other boys in the circle and even smiles. But to me, Takuya seems somehow different from the other boys. Hey Rina, you're looking at Matsunaga again. What's so good about that guy? And then, about halfway through the first semester, there was a rumor going around the school that a boy had transferred to the 6th grade. His name was Yosuke Yamada, and he was so big he didn't look like an elementary school kid, and his eyes and attitude were really bad. He beat up Lita, the strongest fighter in the 6th grade, on his first day at school. Oh my gosh, scary. Yosuke quickly beat up all the boys in his class and reigned supreme as the boss of the 6th graders at school. No one seemed to be able to match Yosuke's strength, who was as big as a high school student. After a while, bad rumors about Yosuke started coming from everywhere. I heard that Yosuke moved here from the next city. He was so bad that there was nobody that didn't know him, and there's even a story that he had junior high students as followers. He lives with his father, who used to be a delinquent too. He's the 2nd generation of a super villainous delinquent. Such a person went to the same school. I couldn't help but tremble. And worst of all, the apartment Yosuke lived in was on my and Tayuka's route to school. There were convenience stores and video game arcades along the way, and Yosuke was often hanging around there. I saw him many times entering the arcade with other junior high school students who looked like delinquents, even though they weren't supposed to. Wow, he's littering the front of the store with those kids again! Shh, stop! You'll get into trouble! Yosuke's bad rumors of nightlife, association with delinquents, shoplifting, and false blackmail only increased with each passing day. I also saw a man who appeared to be Yosuke's father being called to the school on several occasions. He was a stocky man who walked with a waddle that was very much like an ex-delinquent. I hope nothing bad happens in the future. I had a bad feeling about this, but there's nothing I can do as a junior. When I was beginning to feel that way, I was on the way home with everyone from Saturday classes. I ran into Yosuke in the parking lot of a convenience store where he and his buddies were hanging out. Our eyes met. Oh no, it was already too late.
Hey, you little brat, come here!
What? Me?
That's right. Senior orders. Lend me some money. I forgot the money to buy ice cream.
Yusuke-san, how terrifying, asking her for money right from the beginning.
That school is mine now. All the students are my servants.
There's not a single servant in the school. Such a mutter made me and everyone else turn blue. It was Takuya.
What? You can't listen to what I'm saying? Ah!
Yosuke is coming towards us. We couldn't help but make way.
So it's you, huh? Do you need to get hurt to understand? Who do you think you are?
Wait a minute! Please stop! Yosuke glares at me with a sideways glance. If it's money, I'll give it to you. Please, no violence! As I said that, everyone else came together and shouted, "Let him go!"
Rina, everyone.
As I hand over the money,
Huh?
Yasuke blows him off and Takuya falls on his butt.
I've memorized both of your faces. I'll be taking care of you from now on.
What does that mean?
It's nothing. You better look forward to it. Just be careful on your way to and from school.
After saying that, Yasuke and his friends entered the convenience store. We left the place as fast as we could. We stopped and took a breath around the area far enough away from the convenience store where Yasuke was. Takuya came over, bowing his head towards me.
Thanks for earlier, Rina. It was my fault. I'm sorry. I just couldn't forgive him.
No problem. I'm glad you spoke up. He doesn't have any servants at school. Everyone else agreed too. I suddenly realized that Takuya had scraped his palm, probably from when he fell after being pushed by Yasuke. You're bleeding! Oh no, we have to patch you up right away!
That's right. If germs get through a wound like this, it'll turn into tetanus. I need to go home and sterilize it.
Tetanus? I didn't know what that was, but I took a chance and quickly raised my hand. I'll take Takuya home as class president! As a thank you for having our backs, I held Takuya's handbag and walked him home.
Dad, I'm home!
Nice to meet you. I'm Rina Nishikawa from Takuya's class. Actually, just a while ago, Takuya's father listened to my story while I was treating Takuya's injuries inside the house.
I see. So that's why you sent Takuya home. Thank you, Nishikawa.
I'm the class president. It's only natural for me to accompany my classmates at times like this.
I see. Thanks. More importantly, that Yosuke, the 6th grader, how troubling. Takuya,
Yes, sir.
the sooner you make your first move, the better. Follow me.
What? I didn't know what was going on, but I decided to follow Takuya too. I wondered where we were going, since he said we were going to walk a little, and we ended up in front of an old apartment. Yamada was written on the side of the entrance door. This place, no way!
Dad, did you know about that senior's house?
They're both infamous. When they moved in, the neighborhood association president told us to be careful.
Takuya's father rang the doorbell without hesitation. After a while, it was Yasuke himself who answered. Looks like he came back from the convenience store.
Ah, who are you, old man? What do you want?
You must be the Yosuke I've heard so much about. Let's have you apologize to my boy.
Oh, you're that little guy's father. No wonder you look so dull.
Now let's have you apologize. I want a heartfelt apology, and give her the money back now.
No way. Do you have anything to be ashamed of? Getting involved in an argument between two kids?
Just apologize now and return the money.
Apologize, don't apologize. Return the money or don't return it. Their exchange continued for a while in front of the entrance of the apartment.
Shut up! What's all the fuss? You all want to get beat up?
A very scary-looking adult came out. It's Yasuke's father.
Who are you, the PTA? What do you want from Yosuke? Your son injured our child. I demand an apology. Huh. Is that true, Yosuke? You hurt him?
He just scraped his palm and bled a little. That's all. He's overreacting.
You're right. That's an exaggeration. You're ratting on about something as minor as a scrape. An injury is an injury. If bad germs get in, you could get an infection.
You're a persistent old man. Just go home already.
Not so fast. Now come on, apologize. Come on. Parents shouldn't get involved in their kids' fights. How pathetic. That's vicious for a fight between kids. Maybe it's the result of your lack of guidance. I told you to stop exaggerating! That's enough!
Yasuke's father suddenly lost his temper.
Talking about a lack of guidance! I'm an ex-captain of a suicide squadron! Don't you dare talk to me like that!
I shuddered at being yelled at so closely by a grown man. It was at that moment.
Takuya's father's expression changed like a demon.
I'm an active duty airborne. Don't mess with us airborne!
Yosuke's father's face twitched the moment he was told.
Airborne? You mean you're a member of the Ranger unit?
Ranger unit? I've seen it on TV. I think they are members of the self-defense forces that sometimes go on very dangerous missions. Takuya's father is a member of that unit?
We're a death squadron that would abandon our wives and children and jump into enemy lines at the drop of a hat. It's natural to love one's family in peacetime, you idiot!
Takuya's father doesn't know when he won't be able to see his family again, which is why he's trying to protect him like this. Takuya's father nudges towards Yosuke's father, who's getting all jittery.
What's happened, ex-Suicide Squad leader? Were you an amateur? I'll kill you if you underestimate the self-defense forces. I apologize. My stupid son has caused you trouble.
Dad? Why are you apologizing? Don't be scared of this guy.
You idiot, just apologize! You can't say that because you don't know anything about airbornes!
Is it that crazy?
Masa the Yakuza and his gang used to pick fights with the airborne, and they beat them up!
They're monsters.
There is something my dad told me later. The 1st Airborne Corps seemed to be a place where some of the most amazing people in the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force gather. Paratroopers undergo rigorous training every day in case of emergency. When training to jump out of airplanes, their parachutes failed, so they fell to the ground and trained without opening their chutes.
I am so sorry.
I'm sorry, I won't do it again!
Yosuke got a hard smack from his father and was made to bow his head together while crying. I also got my money back and was able to get out safely. This is something I heard later. Yosuke's father had a relative in the self-defense forces, and he had heard a lot about the horrors of the airborne soldiers. That's why he shrank in an instant. Thank you so much for today. I feel so much better.
It's okay. Thank you too. Please, take care of Takuya from now on.
Later that day, I made a proposal at a class meeting and decided to organize a cleanup activity in the school and town with volunteer members. Because Yosuke and his delinquent friends were always littering and making a mess everywhere. After this activity, the negative feelings towards Yosuke and his friends became very strong. This made things difficult for the father and son. Word quickly spread that Yosuke's father got down on his knees to Takuya's father. Perhaps they felt too uncomfortable, but before we knew it, they were gone. They went back to their father's hometown, where his father works part-time and Yosuke works as a houseworker to support the family. After Yosuke and his son left town, the other delinquents quieted down. My relationship with Takuya has been good ever since. Takuya dreams of becoming a paratrooper like his father someday. Even though he's still in elementary school, he trains every day. I wonder if the reason he seems different from everyone else is because he's working so hard towards his future dream. I'll be continuing to cheer for Takuya in the future as well. That's still a secret from everyone, though.